All right, the RNC Trump takeover has begun, starting the weekend off with firing 50 to 60 RNC workers and replacing them with people who believe the RNC pays Trump's legal bills first and every other Republican's candidate campaigns and every bill that goes with it. This was the piggy bank for the entire Republican Party that is now being run by a woman who openly, before she was elected into this position, flat out said the sole purpose of the RNC is to make sure that the legal fees for Donald J. Trump, Daddy Dearest, Captain Mango, Daddy O' Mine, his legal fees are paid. What does that do for everyone else? And here's the kicker. They have less than $10 million in their account. The entire Republican National Committee has less than $10 million. And no one's donating anymore. We need to really recognize how quickly this is going to take hold if somehow election interference makes work between Russia and Saudi Arabia and China and all of the Trump allies that would just benefit hand over fist by another Donald J. Trump presidency. Let's just take a disgusting, gut-wrenching look at that, what that might look like. We have somebody who's accused of all this stuff. Let's just say some of this is true. And these behind-the-scenes deals that were being worked on, that were promised to these people like Putin and like the Crown Prince, and these business deals, these promises, these hundreds of millions of dollars worth of money that was borrowed based on the fact that Donald J. was going to get his second term and go right into being able to open up the floodgates for them again with anything they wanted, because it's the last term. The second term is the last term. If he decided he was going to do it legitimately, 8 years would have been it. So he was going to maximize the capability of that second part of the infomercial, the part that he could never master on his own because daddy's money was gone. He had no one else to tap out. The Russians had already paid for all his golf courses, and everyone's coming to collect. So, dear President, get back in office. We're going to help you with any way we possibly can. That's how this happened. That's why we're here. But there's one thing that will be the brakes on the whole train. Making damn sure everybody who actually cares about this country, not political blindness, will actually take their given right, what could be the last chance they get to use it, and go down and vote. Down ticket blue. No matter what you voted for, you were raised to vote or whatever. Look at the situation for what it is and what you have. Period. End of discussion. Because any mistakes made, if you don't believe in voting for Joe Biden just because it's not Trump, and you don't believe in that, believe in your love for the country enough to do something that may be taking a mitigated risk, recognizing that, well, you know what? What's the worst Biden can do? And then if you really want to be daring, you look at what he's already done, truthfully. Not through political eyes, not through just Fox News bubble or Jesse Waters. What has he actually done? We've got the CHIPS Act, we've got infrastructure, we've got all this wonderful stuff, and more coming. He's not doing a bad job. You got to give him at least that level of credit. Even if, he's doing a really, really good job. You know, he brought the country back economically better than any other country in this world, pretty much. That's pretty damn good. Give him that. Now compare that, wanting to fix the border crisis, wanting to fix all the stuff that actually we have an opportunity to fix right now. We have to get the people in the voting positions that actually want to do that too. And the problem with the United States voters is we're selfish. We're not looking behind pulling that lever, pushing that button. We're not looking behind that. We're making our stand because we always have made our stand. But we're not giving 1 second of thought to the ramifications of those people getting the power that they will inherit once again or for the first time. And here's the problem. As a collaborative effort of what's going on with this takeover of our government, is pretty simple. Who represents you, your heart, as an American? Do you really agree with all the stuff that's going on? Do you really agree with taking away a woman's rights to choose? Do you really agree with all these archaic, crazy laws that are being put up for votes, even if they don't make the actual law? The fact that Republicans in certain places and lawmakers in certain places, not just Republicans, lately it's just been, anyway, look at what's being put up. Does that represent you as a human being? Not as a party, not because that doesn't represent me. Does what you voted for represent you? And don't automatically think of, well, that doesn't mean I'm going to vote Democrat. Don't go there. Does your guy represent you? Period. End of discussion. Very simple question. Why can't we just look at it like that? And if he doesn't represent you, find out what other people in the same vote actually represent. Don't worry about the letter. Because here's the key. Here's the key. That choice we make represents us. So whoever you want in that job, you want it to be someone who genuinely represents you, correct? Okay. So see who represents you. Look at the people, not the letter. And vote for that person. You're not betraying any party. The party betrayed you on that thought. Because the person they put up to carry your representation out doesn't represent you. That's the party's fault. They got to find a better person. But right now, this time around, 2 years, 4 years, you're voting for the person who's going to represent you. Not the party you were born and bred to vote for blindly no matter what. You put the person in office, so when a vote is debated and all the different questions are raised about what's good and what's bad about the debate, you have someone in that discussion that actually is voicing your heart and your opinion. That is the purpose of the vote. That is the purpose of someone who's actually running for office. That's supposed to be the purpose, not their pocketbook. Yes, we both agree. That happens on both sides. Next subject, next video. But for this, the purpose of your vote is supposed to represent you as a human being, not you as a party or what you want your party to be. Start taking the responsibility of that vote seriously on every step of the ticket. Don't just look at one and go, I don't know, either one of these people, but I'll vote this one. No. They need to represent us, every single one of us. That is what this country is built on. That is what made this country great. And it will continue to be great if we keep fighting for it to keep it great. We have the power to assure that happens. Even if it's a mitigated risk that's temporary, but voting for somebody you wouldn't vote for in any other reason, but they represent you, not the letter. So there's plenty of Democrats that aren't really Democrats. There's plenty of Republicans that aren't really Republicans. And there's plenty right down the middle that just only got elected in one letter or another. The bottom line is they need to represent you. So do that much homework. Because you've spent a hell of a lot more time than that defending your vote and screaming at people and getting angry at people because of your beliefs. So the least you can do for yourself to make sure all the shit you go through for having the fights that you vote is actually worth it or correct based on. Take those steps. Then fight about the outcome. But I guarantee you, you will find out more times than not, your initial anger was not justified. A conversation is. So let's start doing that. Following up, representing yourself with your vote. But no matter what, we all got to get out and vote. It's crazy times we live in. Country first. America first. Stay diligent. Stay educated and be kind. We're always going to be in this together.